My name is Peter. I've been publishing on KDP for nearly a decade, and these are my thoughts about the recent change that KDP just announced that after June 10, they will decrease the royalty for books priced under $9.99 from 60% to 50%. Now, why does Amazon do this? In their own words, they say that these books represent a unique challenge given increased operational costs. This change will allow us to continue offering these books while avoiding an impact to other titles. So the translation of this is that these books, they provide very little money for Amazon. It's a thin margin after printing, labor, and shipping. And this change protects Amazon's profit margins on these low-cost titles, and it also signals a shift in their priorities. And they're most likely aiming to reduce the amount of low effort, low quality uploads, and especially AI junk. Now, why does this matter? Most medium and low content books are priced below $9.99, so it will be a big change for these publishers. And this means that thin profit margins just got thinner or completely wiped out. And many books will now earn $0. So let's take a practical example. We have a book priced at $8.99. Now it's currently making around $3.09 if it's 50 pages, black and white. And after this, it will now be making $2.20. So it's a $0.89 decrease. And the minimum price will go up. So if it's before was $3.83, now it will be $4.6. So who loses on this change? Primarily medium content publishers. Now, I know there are many publishers who produce high quality content, even though it's medium content and it's priced lower. But primarily the publishers who rely on cheap, high volume, low content models, I think those will be the ones that will lose the most on this change. Coloring books, of course, notebooks, puzzle books, all under $9.99, they will also lose on this change. And authors who price, say, short reads or activity books very low, they will also be hit by this change. So one thought is it does provide an unfair advantage for the traditional publishers who don't go via KDP. Perhaps there will be other options that will look more appealing to self-publishers that are publishing these types of books. But in essence, the change I think is wise to consider is to invest in high content books and also aiming to not compete on price, so instead compete on higher value. So think, how can you make your books more valuable so you can price them higher, so you increase the perceived value. So even if you have a medium content book, people are still willing to pay above $10 for your book. So what are some action steps to take right now is to check which books do I have on KDP that are priced at $9.99 or below. And then check with the print calculator, KDP print calculator, see, okay, what will the royalty be? Make some changes for a few books, see if it affects the sales. Most likely it will, depending on the perceived value you have for your book. But if it doesn't, then go ahead, make the changes for several books, and hopefully it will not affect things too much, because a lot of publishers, a lot of the competing books will need to do the same in terms of increasing the price. So what does this change mean? I think it means instead of focusing on quantity, we want to focus on quality. And instead of pumping out as many books as possible, we focus on creating high impact books that, even though they are priced higher, people are still willing to buy them because the perceived value is there. So think about how can you make your books even more valuable so that the increased price, even if your competitors or traditional publishers price them lower, your book will still be chosen because it's so much better.